on your side. This is WNCT 9 News at 6.
Temperatures are nice and comfortable in eastern North Carolina this evening, but some showers already have started to overspread. Nothing severe out there at the moment, but you don't have to head too far away to run into stronger and in some cases severe thunderstorms across the state of South Carolina, and even some stronger cells now beginning to move up into North Carolina. Low pressure system is on the move tonight, actually a couple of them, and they'll track on top of us tonight into early Thursday morning. That's why a weather alert day will be in effect. Not only will we see heavier rain tonight, there will be a small window of opportunity for a severe thunderstorm in the mix as well. We'll talk about all the changes and adjustments for the next 24 hours coming up. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
Now at 6, Ukraine's president pleads for help. What American lawmakers are saying after hearing his request and how they might be able to assist the war-torn country.
Plus, new bars and restaurants might be coming to Uptown soon. I'm Caroline Boyer, live in Greenville with what City Council is planning to make this happen.
We're just glad that we have a chance at this, and it will save our taxpayers dollars in the next 10 to 20 years.
And the town of Emerald Isle is taking the first steps in improving that community, where the money is coming from and how it could also help improve the fire departments. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington.
And I'm Angie Casada. Thanks for joining us. New at 6, an update to a Tuesday shooting. Kinston police are releasing the name of the victim. They say 27-year-old Aldequan Veal was shot inside a parked car near the Carver Courts area. The shooting happened just before 6 o'clock last night. Veal remains in critical condition at a local hospital.
And police are also searching for this Jacksonville man, 25-year-old Asante Collins, for his role in the shooting. He's wanted for aid and attempted murder. If you have any information on the shooting or his whereabouts, you're asked to call the Kinston Police Department.
Turning now to the latest from Ukraine and the plea heard around the world.
Today before Congress, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made an emotional and powerful plea for even stronger sanctions on Russia and more help defending Ukraine's skies.
Zelensky showed a sometimes hard-to-watch video depicting the devastation to his country while attacks continued in real time.
Russia has turned the Ukrainian sky into a source of death for thousands of people. I have a need. I need to protect our sky.
And just hours after this plea for help, President Joe Biden laid out his administration's plan to send additional aid for Ukraine's defense. It's an $800 million package that includes anti-aircraft systems, small arms, and specialized drones.
It's about making sure Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin, no matter what advances he makes on the battlefield.
Calls for a no-fly zone continue, but the Biden administration and bipartisan members of Congress agree that creating that in Ukraine would escalate the situation at hand.
And those calls for a no-fly zone are concerning to lawmakers, including those from right here in North Carolina.
Our Capitol reporter Michael Hyland caught up with our elected officials after the address to Congress, and they say they want to help, but fear escalating the conflict into another world war.
A bipartisan standing ovation in Congress as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asks for help and shows the devastation Russia is causing.
Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
We should use every possible option to arm and equip the Ukrainian people.
Republican Senator Tom Tillis said despite Zelensky's request, he doesn't support a no-fly zone.
Then you're talking about a response from a NATO country, which lays a predicate for World War III.
It would constitute a much wider war immediately. That doesn't mean you couldn't contribute to their air defenses.
Democratic Congressman David Price said he supports trying to find a way to transfer additional fighter jets from Poland.
That is, of course, difficult because of how you do this, and also the destruction with the airfields in Ukraine. Exactly how much they could use this equipment and where.
Tillis called for additional sanctions on Russia, saying they're working and to sanction any country that helps Russia.
For every dollar of aid that goes to Russia in any form, there should be a 1,000-time consequence for any nation that would actually do that.
And that was Michael Hyland reporting. Senator Tillis also backed a resolution the Senate passed calling for Putin to be investigated for war crimes. He also added the Russian sanctions should remain in place even after the attacks on Ukraine stop.
I will just say in a word, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to see the destruction of a peace-loving country by an evil aggressor. President Zelensky is a man of courage. He's a man of fortitude. He knows there's a bounty on his head.
That is Congressman Greg Murphy speaking on the Ukrainian president's call to Congress for more support. He says it was a difficult time listening to everything he had to say and seeing a video of how the country is being destroyed by Russia. Representative Murphy says that the government and the United States needs to do all that we can to support Ukraine's peace and freedom during this time.
And a new ECU poll is weighing in on how North Carolinians are feeling about sanctions against Russia. Dr. Peter Francia, professor of political science at ECU, says numbers show most approve the sanctions. But when it comes to increased military action, this opinion is more divided.
The poll shows that Republicans are more pessimistic that the economic sanctions will stop Russian aggression in the Ukraine. Democrats are a bit more optimistic that those sanctions will lead to Russia potentially ending.
Almost 79% say they agree with the U.S. banning oil imported from Russia.
And those rising gas prices are a direct effect of the war in Ukraine, and one local police department is offering some words of caution. Surf City's police department says from siphoning to drilling, thieves will stop at nothing to steal gas. They also add on ways we can help stop this crime.
If you see us reporting it, because we don't know what's going on, it's probably going to go on longer, more than we want it to. So communication again is key. Report anything that you see.
Police are offering several tips to avoid falling victim. They include installing a locking gas cap, to park in a well-lit area, and to avoid parking in the same spot for long periods of time.
Here in the East, the city of Greenville is looking to get rid of a rule that could bring more bars and clubs to uptown Greenville. 9
Your Side's Caroline Boyer is live in Greenville for us tonight. And Caroline, what would this mean for the city of Greenville?
Angie, Ken, there are several vacant spaces just like this one in uptown Greenville right now that could change in the coming months if the city council is able to get rid of this ordinance. The current restrictions were put in place more than 10 years ago. They prohibit new bars and clubs from opening within 500 feet of existing establishments. City leaders say safety concerns were the foundation of the original rule after several violent events took place in uptown. But now, Mayor P.J. Connolly says the ordinance is hindering uptown's growth. Several spaces are vacant in the district. Connolly says he would like to see those spaces filled with businesses we don't currently have in the east.
I think there's a misconception that, the city council is just looking for more bars and nightclubs. This isn't just for bars and nightclubs. It's for different business opportunities. We've had people that have talked to us about, like a martini bar opening up, something different. People bringing in different acoustic acts to be able to perform.
Members of the Uptown Greenville board say nixing this rule will bring more competition for current businesses and bring more people to the heart of the city. This ordinance applies to all of Greenville. Mayor Connolly says if things go well here in Uptown, he would like to have it removed from the entire city. Angie.
And Caroline, when could we see this change?
Angie, the city council will send the revised ordinance to the Planning and Zoning Commission in April to be approved. If things go as planned, the council could adopt the new rule in May. Live in Greenville, Caroline Boyer, 9 on your side.
All right, Caroline, thank you. Some big news tonight for the town of Emerald Isle. They're taking the first steps in getting leftover funds from a previous FEMA grant.
They hope to use this money to help improve the community. Now on your side, Cheyenne Pagan joins us live now from Emerald Isle. And Cheyenne, what kind of projects are they hoping to complete?
Ken, Shannon, Angie, one of those 17 projects is actually right here behind me at Fire Station number 2. They're hoping to enhance the station to better prepare for the increasing population in the area. Fire Chief of Fire Station 1 and 2, Bill Walker, says this is what the community needs. But where is this $9.8 million in funding going to come from? It's leftover money the town received from FEMA for a $46 million three-phase beach nourishment project.
We have a chance to then go back to FEMA, reapply for what they call 428 grants, and then mitigate future disasters, purchase equipment, and or make improvements for the community that will protect our $3.2 billion of property.
And with an increasing population, the town adds the grants are much needed. Overall, this is a first step in a long process for the community, but they are excited about the outcome. If granted, money could be coming into the community in about 12 to 36 months. And to get a full list of those possible projects, head to our website at WNCT.com. Live in Emerald Isle, Cheyenne Pagan 9 on your side.
Cheyenne, thanks. Still ahead on your news at 6, how a new program at an Eastern Carolina community college is allowing students to learn much needed skills.
Also coming up next, your complete Storm Team 9 7-day forecast. There could be some late night showers and thunderstorms moving through. We'll talk about all the possibilities next.